Good evening, everyone. We'll go ahead and begin. And before we start on our agenda, I would just like to say we always get so busy, and a lot of you don't stay after executive session. I just want to wish all of you a very happy holiday, a safe holiday, and a well-deserved rest. And I'd like to especially thank the board members up here for all the time that they put in to the schools, and all our directors and our staff, parents, and our students. And I truly believe that DD4 is like a family, and I do believe we have some of the most loyal employees and parents in this school district, and I'm very proud of that. So we will go ahead and begin, and I will call the meeting to order. We'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and please remain standing for a moment of silence.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Before we approve our agenda tonight, we have one amendment to it. We have some policies tonight that we'll be reading for the second time, and one of our categories got left off, so we're just going to add the B's to the C's and the D's. So at this time, I will need a motion from board to amend the agenda to add the B's to the policies.
Madam Chair, I make a motion, we add B policies to the agenda.
Okay.
I second that.
All right, a motion has been made by Mr. Folks, seconded by Ms. Infinger. Are there any questions, comments? All in favor, please raise your right hand. Great. So our agenda tonight is approval of our minutes from November 19th, and we had a special board meeting December 10th. Correspondence, public forum, special recognition, our everyday heroes, finance, facilities and operations, and then our superintendent will give his report, and then the board will go into executive session. So at this time, I will need a motion to approve our amended agenda.
Madam Chairman, I make a motion to approve the amended agenda.
Okay.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Evelyn. We have two Infinger, so I'll try to say Ms. Evelyn instead of Ms. Infinger. And seconded by Mr. Folk. Are there any further questions? All in favor, please raise your right hand. It's unanimous. Thank you. We do have an active agenda, approved agenda. First up is approval of our minutes from November the 19th. And we could combine both unless y'all have any concerns, questions at it. Okay? We can combine them both, November 19th and December 10th.
So moved.
Okay, Ms. Infinger. Okay. Motion has been made by Ms. Evelyn Infinger, seconded by Ms. Jenny, to approve the minutes from November 19th and December 10th. Any further questions, comments? All in favor, please say aye and raise your hand. It's unanimous. Ms. Anna, do we have any correspondence tonight? Okay. How about public forum? Okay. First up, special recognition, Dr. April Sanders.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good evening. Dorchester School District 4 is delighted to continue its Everyday Hero Employee Recognition Program, celebrating the exceptional individuals who play crucial roles in the success of our schools. These hardworking employees often operate behind the scenes, ensuring the smooth functioning of our schools while contributing to the education and well-being of our students. Monthly, we shine a spotlight on these dedicated staff members, offering our appreciation for their unwavering commitment. Each Everyday Hero receives a certificate of appreciation and a distinguished coin from the superintendent, a token of the district's deep gratitude for their remarkable service. For December, we proudly recognize Terry Wilson, a dedicated food service technician at Clay Hill Elementary School, as our first Everyday Hero. Terry was nominated by Mr. Earl, the Director of Food and Nutrition for DD4, who shared heartfelt words about her invaluable contributions. In the heart of every school, there's a place where warmth, kindness, and energy nourish more than just the body. This is the school cafeteria. Terry Wilson is a hard worker and an everyday hero who plays an essential role in shaping the day for every student who walks through those doors. Terry's roles go far beyond preparing meals. Every morning, she arrives early to craft wholesome, balanced dishes that cater to the diverse needs of CHES. But it's not just about food. It's also about creating an environment where she feels welcome, valued, and she cares for others. From greeting students by name and offering encouragement to serving meals with a smile, Terry makes every effort to brighten her students' days. She is deeply attuned to their needs, often noticing when a child might need extra support, a kind word, a comforting presence, or simply a second helping of their favorite meal. Her patience, compassion, and unwavering commitment have a profound impact on student morale and well-being. In her role, Terry feeds not only young minds, but also their spirits, creating a ripple effect of positivity that reaches every corner of the school. For her exceptional dedication and the joy she brings to the students and staff, we are honored to recognize Terry Wilson as our everyday hero. Please join us in celebrating her remarkable contributions to CHES and the greater DD4 community. Thank you, Ms. Terry, for being an excellent example of what it means to serve others with heart and purpose. Ms. Wilson, come on up.
Been on all day. All right, can we get our family co-workers? Yeah. Co-workers first? Can't be bashful now. This is a small but mighty group at Clay Hill. They're awesome.
Congratulations, Ms. Wilson, and thank you, family, for coming to support her. We appreciate it. Oh, one more photo. Come on, family.
Yeah, mine's easier like that.
You did a good job. Whoop, just kidding.
They'll make it easier.
There you go.
Right here?
Let's give her a big round of applause. For our second everyday hero for December, we are proud to celebrate Marie Gladfelder, a beloved teacher at Woodland Middle School. Ms. Gladfelder was nominated by Allison Belcher, school psychologist for DD4, who shared high praise for her unwavering commitment to students. She works extremely hard, putting her kids first, even in her time off, and she will be at school when we're all at home. We know, we see her out there. You can see her core replacement students making progress due to her dedication to them. Ms. Belcher said, Ms. Gladfelder's role as an educator extends beyond the classroom. Her dedication to her students' academic and personal growth is evident in the progress that they have made under her guidance. She goes above and beyond to ensure her students feel supported, consistently prioritizing their needs and fostering an environment where they can thrive. Her impact reaches far beyond the subjects she teaches as she instills confidence, resilience, and a love for learning in every child that she mentors. Her selfless devotion during and beyond school hours exemplifies the spirit of the everyday hero recognition. Ms. Gladfelder's hard work and compassion embodies the mission of Dorchester School District 4, making her a true asset to Woodland Middle School and the wider district community. Please join us in celebrating Marie Gladfelder, whose dedication, perseverance, and heart have made a lasting difference in the lives of our students. Come on up, Ms. Gladfelder, and congratulations. You look very, very neat. Come on up, Mr. Kent. Oh, there you go.
Behind some stuff, I remember that. It was behind other stuff, I remembered. We're right here.
Congratulations to Ms. Wilson and Ms. Gladfelder.
Thank you.
And thank you for what you do for our students. Thank you very much. Next up is Finance, Ms. Penny Hutto.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'd like for Ms. Emily Sobchak to come up first. She's going to present our 24 financial audit presentation, and then after that, we'll continue.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Emily Sobchak. I'm with Green Benny Colley, and I'm here to present the results of the financial statement audit for the year ended June 30th, 2024. So before we get into your financial results, it's important that you remember that the financial report that you've received, that is the responsibility of the district. And so included in that responsibility is the importance of having good policies and procedures in place so that you can rely on that financial information that's being provided at year end for audit purposes, but also as you're receiving financial information throughout the year and making strategic decisions based on that information. So having good internal controls to mitigate the risk of misstatement in your financial information. Our responsibility as your auditor is to audit the financial information provided and issue an opinion based on our audit. We have issued an unmodified opinion again this year. That's a clean opinion. That opinion provides reasonable assurance that the financial statements are materially correct. So a couple of key terms there. We're providing reasonable assurance, which is a high level of assurance, but it's not absolute. We're not auditing every single transaction that occurred during the year. We're also using materiality when designing our audit procedures, so we're not adjusting things down to the penny. So let's look first at your general fund. Your general fund had an increase in fund balance of $987,000, bringing total fund balance to $6.9 million as of June 30th. Included in that $6.9 million is non-spendable fund balance of $294,000 that relates primarily to prepaid balances, so amounts that were spent during the year, but for expenditures that will be recognized in fiscal 25. The remaining fund balance of $6.6 million is unassigned and so available for future operations. When we look at that unassigned fund balance, we like to compare it to your operating expenditures to gauge how healthy that fund balance is. At June 30th, you've got about 20% of your operating expenditures in your unassigned fund balance. So we believe that's a good, healthy financial position. We provide a generic benchmark that comes from the Government Finance Officers Association. That's a national organization that provides a recommendation that you should maintain at least 2 months, or about 17% of your operating expenditures in that unassigned fund balance. And the state does require a minimum of 1 month, or a little over 8%. So of course you're in compliance with that requirement. There are a number of different reasons why it's important to have that fund balance available. And one of the most significant is for cash flow purposes. Having that fund balance, which we're measuring, of course, at June 30th, allows you to meet your cash flow needs in the second half of the calendar year without having to rely too heavily on short-term financing. And so that, of course, can save the district money by saving you in interest expense. And it also allows you to achieve better interest rates when you issue debt, and it gives you some flexibility in determining how future non-recurring expenditures, future capital needs are funded. now look at your activity for the year. You had general fund revenues of $31.9 million. That was a 7% increase from the prior year. That increase was primarily driven by an increase in state revenues. And you also came in about 2% better than what you had budgeted. Looking at the expenditures totaled $32.8 million. That was, again, a 7% increase from the prior year, and very consistent with your budget, just about 1% below your budgeted expenditures. Now, when we combine all of your funds together, so taking your general fund and adding your special revenue, EIA, food service, capital projects, and debt service funds, we're looking at total revenues for the district of $50.7 million compared to expenditures of $60.2 million. Those expenditures, you can see, are higher as a result of the district spending down prior year bond proceeds. We also report net other financing sources that are related to your the 2023 GO bonds in which you received a premium of about $4.5 million. When we talk about your fund level reporting, we focus on current assets and current liabilities, but we also have the government-wide financial statements that include long-term assets and obligations. Two of the long-term obligations that we've been reporting for the last several years are your net pension and OPEB liabilities. As you may recall, these liabilities relate to your participation in the state retirement system and the state retiree health care plan. So these are not direct liabilities of the district, rather they represent your proportionate share of the total unfunded actuarial liabilities of those plans. And so in other words, these are estimates and they aren't liabilities that you're expected to write up a check to pay off. Rather, what you are expected to pay is the employer contribution rates at the rates mandated by the state. And that's really where we want to focus because those rates have been increasing over the past over 10 years now. For fiscal 24, the state retirement system rate was 18.5%. That was a 1% increase from the prior year. And we've got good and bad news because the good news is that rate has held at 18.5% for fiscal 25, and we expect it to hold for the foreseeable future. But the bad news, of course, is that that rate is significant. And when you're a school district and the majority of your expenditures are in personnel costs, those fringe benefits can have a really significant impact on both your cash flows and your operating budget. So when you're making personnel decisions, it's very important that you're considering not only the salary impact, but also the impact of those additional fringe benefits. Looking now at your capital assets, you have total capital assets of $80.5 million. That was an increase of $12.2 million as your additions exceeded depreciation expense. Of course, your most significant capital additions during the year related to the construction of the middle school. Looking at long-term obligations, we have total debt of $52.5 million. That was an increase of $3.6 million from the prior year. And during fiscal 24, you issued the 2023 general obligation bonds that refunded the 2023 bond anticipation note that was issued in fiscal 23. You also made principal payments, that's about $1.4 million. And you report compensated absences, which is your earned but unused vacation leave of $544,000. Principal and interest payments for fiscal 25 are expected to total right around $3.8 million. In addition to the financial statement audit, we also perform the single audit each year. That's the additional compliance audit that's required by the federal government. And as part of that audit, we focus on your federal programs. So this year, we audited the ESSER program, as well as child nutrition. And I'm pleased to say we have no findings to report related to those audits. So that's something the district should be very proud of. We also have no findings to report related to the financial statement audit, which again, that truly reflects on all of the hard work that Ms. Penny, Ms. Anna, and the others at the district do throughout the year to ensure that policies are followed and adhered to, and also to ensure that the district remains in compliance with all grant requirements. So I applaud them and all of their hard work, and I'm happy to take any questions that you might have.
Any questions, board members? Thank you so much.
Thank you. We appreciate the opportunity to work with the district.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In your board packet, you had the short version of your expenditure and revenue statements. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Okay, any questions, board members? None? None? Thank you, Ms. Hodo. Thank you, Anna, and to everyone in the finance office. It's great to have a wonderful audit like this.
We
Thank
have
you
a
so
great
much.
staff in finance.
We sure do.
We sure do, thank you.
Thank you all. Next up, facilities and operations.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I want to go over some of the highlights and projects we have going on over the break and what we're focusing on right now. So our top 3 priorities still are our playground renovations, roof repairs, and getting water to Harleyville Elementary School. And I'm happy to say we've started all these projects. Harleyville Elementary, the roof work is completed on the gym. We're just waiting on the gutter system to be installed. That's on order, and hopefully that'll be installed over the break before we come back. We've successfully moved the Department of Exceptional Children into the old Harleyville admin, and I think, Ms. Hughes, you got to tour that
I
space.
did. It's beautiful.
And I'm glad that they were happy with their home since we've demoed their past home. So, but I think they're happy, and we've pretty much wrapped that up. We have a couple more pieces there, but they're moved in and they're in with the kids, so that's exciting. We've got renovations at Harleyville still going on. Outside, we have a bunch of work going on over the break. So we've got a lot of tree removal and some exciting stuff with water coming. So we're hoping we get a timeline of maybe this summer hooking that in. On more exciting news, DD4 operations staff participated in 3 local parades. We were in the St. George Parade, the Harleyville Parade, and the Ridgeville Parade. And our big DD4 Polar Express with the truck, and that was really exciting. But we just, we try to do as much as we can to be visual in the community and support everything going on. So that was exciting. So another exciting news is we received word from the state that the grant I put in for last year for the safety and security, I put in again this year, and we received $355,000 additional dollars this year, and that'll be more towards our storefront door locks for classrooms and everything, so they can't be unlocked, and that saves our other funding from having to pay for that. So that's just more additional funds that finance has to help me allocate. Let's go to transportation. We've got the new cameras installed on all the buses. That project went pretty smooth. We've got a couple more to put in. I think we've got a couple hard drives left to do, but we're 90% complete on that, and that's actually ahead of schedule. So that's good. Food and Nutrition Director Kevin Earl and I met with the architects and food service equipment consultants, went around to the kitchens, and we should have those numbers back in January to look at updating our equipment and all the cafeterias. That's very exciting as well. And Kevin Earl has a State Department review January 15th to 16th, so he's preparing for that. And down line item number 8, I don't want to go through the list, but I've got about 15 projects and jobs going on over the break. So when we get those completed while students and teachers aren't there. Any questions?
Any questions, board members? No. Well, I'd like to congratulate you on that safety grant. That's a big deal.
That is.
And I know last year you got a huge one too for the district, and you're doing a great job. And I did get to go down and inspect the OPEC offices in the Harleyville school. Miss Monica wasn't there that day, and I hate she wasn't there that day because I'm sure she would have took me through every little corner. But it was beautiful. I thought it was just really nice, and it is good that they're going to be in that building along with the students. And I believe the super told me, and we went in a room that I saw a washer and a dryer. And they're actually going to have something in there for these students.
The work-based learning
The
lab, so
work-based
that's going to
learning.
be an entire kitchen. That'll be for ADA 2, and it'll have a laundry section for it, but it's a full kitchen. So they can get in as part of their, we'll have our own work-based program in district now.
That's wonderful. These young people then can help take care of themselves, their own needs and all. That's just wonderful what y'all are doing. Thank you so much, Mr. Martin.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Superintendent?
Thank you for coming.
All right, y'all. Have a good night. Thank you.
Good night, ladies. Merry Christmas.
Keep all this straight here. All right, board members, last week, we had a special call meeting. We went over policies, the remainder of policies in Section B, all the policies in Section C and Section D, and that was our first reading. So tonight is the second reading of those policies. I am not going to read through each one of those. Unless somebody has a question, I'm more than happy to address those. I know we addressed some of those during the first reading. However, I do want to bring attention to the fact that we do have to approve our second read policies, but we also have to delete some of these policies that have been absorbed into other policies.
Okay. Mr. Beckwith, let's go back to the BJ-R, Board Legislative Program. The board needs to appoint, and that would probably be a vote, on someone to be the board legislative contact. Should we do that now?
I would say you need to approve it first, and then you would vote on it.
Okay, as soon as we approve it. So why don't we do the Bs first, and then we could do that, and then go to the Cs and Ds and keep them straight. Is that
Sounds good.
okay?
Yep.
All right. So, board members, we need a motion for the second reading of the Bs.
So moved, Madam Chairman.
Okay. Ms. Evelyn Enfinger made the motion, seconded by Dr. Hodges, to approve the last Bs. Are there any questions, comments? All in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay, at this time, in reference to, I just said it and closed my paper, BJ-R, the board needs to appoint someone as our board legislative contact. What this is going to be is there's so many issues in the State House that anything in regard to schools and education, we need to stay on top of that. So they're asking us to have someone within the board that will actually be our liaison with those delegates or through the School Board Association to keep us abreast on a monthly basis of something that may impact our schools. And I'm glad of that, because a lot of times we don't know until it's done. So at this time, board members, would you like to nominate someone, for us to appoint as our board legislative contact?
I'd like to nominate Evelyn Enfinger.
Ms. Evelyn?
Second.
Okay. Ms. Evelyn, would you serve in that capacity?
Yes, I will.
Okay. All right. So the board, Ms. Jenny Enfinger has nominated Ms. Evelyn Enfinger, seconded by Mr. Foe. Are there any other nominations? All in favor, please say aye or raise your right hand. All right, great, Ms. Evelyn. Thank you for doing that. Welcome. Great. All right, now we'll go on to the Cs.
Now we have Section C. Gets into your general school administration. We have a number of second reads, but we do have 3 deletions in this section as well.
Okay. We can go ahead and make a motion to approve those that are viable and active, and then we'll make a motion to delete those others. Is that good for y'all? All right, so we need a motion to approve these Cs.
Madam Chairman, I make a motion to approve the ones that we're going to push on through.
Okay.
Second.
A motion has been made by Ms. Evelyn Infinger, seconded by Dr. Hodges to approve the Cs. Are there any comments or questions? All in favor, please say aye or raise your right hand. It is unanimous. And then we also have a couple on here, there's 3 of them, to be deleted.
Madam Chairman, I make a motion to delete the ones we want to take off that are already combined with the other ones.
Okay, motion has been made by Ms. Evelyn, seconded by Dr. Hodges.
You may want to read out CF.
See what now?
You may want to read out CF.
Okay. It would be CF, CHA/CHB, and CHD. And all of this will be online for everyone to look at. And the reason we're deleting these policies are because they're already intertwined in other policies. As they update them, they'll a lot of times move them into a new policy where you don't need both. So that's the purpose of deleting them. So a motion has been made by Ms. Evelyn Infinger, seconded by Dr. Hodges. Any further comments, questions? All in favor, please say aye or raise your right hand.
Aye.
Okay, that is unanimous. So there's the Cs.
Great, and then the last section is Section B, that gets into fiscal management. Ms. Hurdle, Ms. Cribb spent time looking at these policies just to ensure they're aligned to our practices at the district level. And any changes, modifications were made, and then recommendations were put in where necessary. We have a number of policies in this section. However, we do have 5 policies that require deletion. And those policies have been absorbed into other existing policies.
Okay, so we'll make a motion first to approve those.
Madam Chairman, so moved.
Okay, Ms. Evelyn?
Second.
Mr. Folk. A motion has been made by Ms. Evelyn Infinger, seconded by Mr. Folk, to approve the second reading of these active policies. Are there any comments, questions? All in favor, please raise your right hand or say aye.
Aye.
Okay. And then also, there were 5 to be deleted?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
3, 4, 5, yes. So we'll need a motion to delete these 5.
Madam Chairman, I make a motion to remove DBG, DCBD, DH, DI, DH-E-R.
Okay?
I'll second.
Motion has been made by Ms. Evelyn Infinger, seconded by Dr. Hodges, to delete those 5 policies. Any comments, questions? All in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay, we've got that done.
Wonderful. And as you can see, there's no first reads tonight. That was a lot, just in those 3 sections. We will discuss after the new year a date to come back for a special call meeting to review the next sections. And really, the only thing that we'll bring back to the regular board meeting will be any new policies that just, from sections A, B, C, D, or any of these that we've already done that have gone through or have new policies that we need to talk about.
Okay.
Next thing we have is we have two out-of-state or overnight field trips. They're both overnight. One is in-state overnight, one is out-of-state overnight. So the first one we have here is the varsity basketball team, boys basketball team, is going the day after Christmas to North Carolina to play in a big tournament up there. Great opportunity for some exposure with colleges and great experience for those boys. This has been scheduled for a while now, but they need approval to go up there. It'll be December 26th to December 29th. It has the agendas on there. They'll be using the activity bus. The coach has his CDL to be able to provide the driver. And like I said, the agenda is in there, a lot of team building, a lot of opportunity for those boys to spend time together and strengthen their bond. So, but that'll need your approval.
Okay. Board members, it's in your packet, December 26th to December 29th.
Madam Chairman, I so moved.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Motion has been made by Ms. Infinger, seconded by Dr. Hodges, to approve the Woodland trip to North Carolina. Are there any other questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye or raise your right hand. Okay, that one is approved.
Wonderful. The next one we have is for the SCFBLA Leadership Group to go to Greenville. That is over 3 days, and it's a competition up there. This is a recurring competition that our students have gone to over the years between FBLA and FCCLA. So we have 8 students going up there. They have 2 adults, teachers here, or adults at the high school that will be going with them. Again, it'll be the activity bus, and you can see the agendas and all the information is attached. And this is in February 3rd to February 5th.
Okay.
Madam Chairman, I make a motion to allow this field trip for February.
I'm second.
Motion made by Ms. Finger, seconded by Dr. Hodges. Are there any questions, comments? All in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. It is unanimous.
Thank you. And the next item we have is just an update or just informational. 2 weeks ago, it was the Monday after Thanksgiving break, which was a difficult time in education to try to plan anything. But what we had is the middle school starting last year was working on a partnership with the state level. Dr. Ferguson up at the state level has done a lot with us. She brought Volvo to the Woodland High School, and she's just always thinking about us, which is wonderful. It started as a competition with the opportunity at the end to be able to speak to an astronaut on the space station as it crossed overhead. And what we're going to do is we're going to watch the video that Mr. Lakin put together so y'all can see it, and then a couple other pieces of information right after that.
Love that.
Mr. Galik.
Can y'all see okay?
I'm Bob Kepke. I'm an ARIS technical mentor for the ARIS events. ARIS is amateur youth working at the International Space Station. And the school here in Woodlands has submitted a proposal 6 or 8 months ago. And inside that proposal, there was a proposal for space education, amateur radio education. So they've been working on that very diligently for the last 6 or 8 months. The students will be asking questions directly to Nick Hague via amateur radio, and he will be able to respond immediately, and we'll be able to hear that response. That whole thing lasts about 10 minutes from the time the ISS appears over the horizon until it sets.
NA1SS, NA1SS, this is N4EE, calling for scheduled school contact. Over. NA1SS, NA1SS, this is N4EE, calling for scheduled school contact. Over. NA1SS, NA1SS, this is N4EE, calling for scheduled school contact. Over. Are you ready for the first question? Over.
Hello,
Hello, my name is JC and I'm in 8th grade. I have read where you're doing experiments to help Alzheimer's and how is that working? Over. Hello, my name is Shariana, 8th grade. How do you creatively solve problems when traditional tools or resources on Earth aren't available on the ISS? Over.
A little bit of ingenuity and a little bit of imagination. When you don't have the exact thing you need, you've got to figure out what's available around you and figure out how to make it work. And we do that on a daily basis up here on the station. Over.
Hello, my name is Peyton, 8th grade. What advice do you have for aspiring astronauts? Over.
The biggest piece of advice I can give you is dream big and work really hard. It's going to be a challenge to get to this point. It's going to be a lot of hard work, but with you and a lot of grit, you can make it over.
Hello, this is LaDesha, 8th grade. How would you describe your daily life now compared to your life when you were on Earth? Over. This is Chloe and I study 8th grade. What are necessities people normally think you would need on spacecraft?
One of the things that comes to mind is exercise equipment. You're paid to float, so why would you need to exercise? But it's so important because
Hello, this is Jocelyn and Chantel, 8th grade. What experiments have you done in space so far that have had a different result on Earth?
everything we do up here has different results because we're in microgravity. Everything floats because when we take away gravity, it gives us things that we can't do on the ground, like watching water flow.
Hello, this is Kimani and Michelle. What unique skills or knowledge did you gain from your training that surprised you the most? Over.
This is an amazing journey, has been wonderful. There's been a lot of work behind the scenes with paperwork, but actually in the classroom, seeing students on all spectrums, enjoying building the rover, answering the questions, coming up with questions for astronauts, getting the kids involved. It really showed me that kids do respond to the hands-on. And it got students excited that would normally just sit in their chair and not have anything to do with class. They got out of their chairs, they wrote questions, and got involved. Yeah, so when I actually heard the astronaut respond in A1SS, my heart kind of skipped a beat because it was actually happening. I've never spoken to an astronaut, so as an adult, it was just as amazing to me as to the students. Yeah, I need to thank definitely Eris and the Amateur Radio Club for all they did to make this possible. It's because of people like them that are interested in our future, interested in our students, which are our future. They make things like this possible, and it makes an impact on students.
That's pretty awesome. I think Ms. Road is here. Stand up, Ms. Road. And I'm not going to put you on the spot, but you're more than welcome to say as many words as you want.
We just really enjoyed the opportunity, and again, there were so many students involved. It was not just a certain group of students that you normally would see compete in kind of an academic setting, but these were students from the entire spectrum of learning, and they participated. You'll notice the green shirts that we got. The Woodland had the winning team, so we were the ones that got to host and ask the first questions. And also the Woodland students generated the most questions that were asked of the astronauts as well. So very proud, appreciative of the admin allowing me the opportunity and for the district providing assistance and support in our endeavor.
Great.
Ms. Rowe was a little humble there. We won the competition, which is why we hosted 3 other schools. So when you saw those different color shirts, those were other schools that were participating and competing. And so they came, and then the schools themselves were zooming in also. So everybody was involved. Our students went down to the Citadel to compete at rover competition down there.
They were exposed to the Citadel, they got to ride in a military truck, they got to speak to a cadet, they got to create some science experiments that they were able to bring home as well. And so it was a great overall experience.
And I think that's what learning's about, and just a really cool experience. It started last year, I think, and
right as she was being hired, quite frankly.
And when it first came out, Mr. Kennedy sent it to me, like, what do you think? I said, I don't have a clue what this is. And it all kind of morphed, and it was tough to invite people because it was really last second. So coming into Thanksgiving break, we didn't know exactly when it was going to be because it depended on where the space station was. And it wasn't until, I think, the weekend that we got a pretty...
Thursday night before.
Even Friday night.
Friday night, actually, after Thanksgiving, before we knew exactly when it would be.
Yeah, they kept narrowing in, and then they finally got it. But even to that point, they had a program, like an hour and a half long program, and when they were told to stop and get ready to talk, they had to stop and get ready to talk. But it was all done through ham radio, which is a almost the original way of communication back in the day, and that's how they were able to communicate. And at first they weren't responding. They had to go to a backup channel. We could hear, but they couldn't hear. It was all over the place. They said backup channel. We went to the backup channel. Those guys over here switched some cords and it connected. And just a really great experience for everybody. And Ms. Rowe will probably be one of the people always to sit in a crowded space and say, I talked to an astronaut in space. So pretty cool thing. Thank you so much, Ms. Rowe. And Mr. Kennedy, because it was a long...
And technology, they had the same...
Technology was great.
Yeah, when I'm
Set up on Sunday and Tuesdays and...
When I say district support, I mean, everybody came together like the family that we are.
It was, and that was Thanksgiving, that was the weekend after Thanksgiving. And so everybody was in there getting it all set up, and yeah, definitely a team effort, and great for our kids.
Sure
Great
was.
job. Very
Sure was.
So thank y'all. Thank you very much.
Very good.
The last thing kind of ties right into this. We had a CTE advisory meeting as we build our CTE programs. One of the components to that is having advisory meetings once in the fall, once in the spring. The career school does the same thing. It's bringing in businesses, industry to our meetings to talk with our teachers about how can we partner and strengthen our programming, how can we develop and enhance work-based opportunities for our students. When you look at our school report card, we have a really low percentage of our students doing work-based learning. Not that that's where our number is, whether it was just put in the system wrong or however, but we have to be more intentional making sure our students are getting out in the field and doing this work that they're going to go into as a career later on. So we had a great turnout. It was the first time we've ever done it out here. Great turnout. And just really excited to see the next one. You know, getting the first one under your belt's always a tricky one, but building off of that is what we're excited about and where we're going to go. A couple other things really quick that I just wanted to add on there. We did have wrestling programs. Some of y'all have seen it, have heard about it. Wrestling has been exceptional. Our coaches have been amazing. The participation and our families have been outstanding. And our females are going to Columbia this weekend for a women's wrestling tournament. But it's just really taken off and been great. Basketball, I do want to shout out basketball. So they had a big win last night. Mr. Bush is back there. And, Ms. Thompson, Coach Gann, Coach Jeffries, they went to Cane Bay last night, 5A school, loaded teams. They won the girls varsity and boys varsity, Woodland did, which was outstanding.
Yeah.
But anybody who was there knew or saw that we had a young lady in the JV game, had some health concerns. It had to be addressed. Mr. Jeffries, the varsity and JV coach for the girls program, went with the young lady. Coach Seibert ended up meeting them there where they went until the grandmother could come and help them. Couldn't get back in time for the varsity game, but Mr. Bush and Coach Thompson stepped right in. You never know the coaches were gone or Coach Jeffries was gone. Coached them for the first half of the game, went up 11-3 in the first quarter. Then it was 13-13 and a half, got a little, and Coach Jeffries came in, and it was just a smooth transition, but just stepping up. It was incredible to see. You'd never know unless you know. And that's what it's all about. So great job, Mr. Bush, and to the whole coaching. A couple other things. High school's got EOC going on right now. We're really pushing hard. We've got to do better with our EOC scores at the high school level. Today was math, and I know there's a lot of focus on that. What now?
U.S. history and knowledge.
Today? And Algebra 1? All of them.
Everything depends.
So in a few days, hopefully we'll know where we stand with that. We have a robotics competition. Is Harleyville going Saturday? And Williams Memorial are both competing down in Colleton County at a regional competition down there. So we'll go down and check them out. Excited for those two schools to be down there doing that. That's all I've got.
Thank you, Mr. Beckwith. Thank you to all of y'all on this road. That was amazing to watch. Next up, we will go into executive session, and tonight we will discuss student hearings, personnel report, and a legal matter. And when we come out, we will vote in public. So if any of you want to stay, we'll be out in a little bit. If you leave, again, do have a safe and a wonderful holiday. And thank you, everyone, for what you do for DD4. Thank you. We need a motion now to go in executive session.
So, Madam Chairman.
Dr. Hodges?
Second.
Mr. Folk? Okay. We are now in executive session. Merry
y'all.
Christmas to everyone.